Have you ever heard of a disappointment room? Because I might have one in my house. My house was built in the 1840s, and one of the rooms has a concrete wall built right in front of the doorway. When my husband and I jumped over that wall, we found that the room used to connect to the one next to it. This one in particular, but that those doorways were also filled in with cement, making this room completely inaccessible to the rest of the house. Disappointment rooms gained popularity in the Victorian ages to house illegitimate children, people with disabilities, or people with deformities. These rooms were meant to keep them out of view from the rest of the world. It's a very harsh and horrifying practice, but unfortunately it happened. And some of you had a suspicion that this room could have been used as a disappointment room at some point in my home's history. We have this family legend about a woman called Aunt Selma. I've done my family tree and have never come across a woman named Selma, but everyone in my family seems to acknowledge her existence. It's already hard to track down the genealogy of women, but it's especially hard if it's a woman with some sort of a disability. Let's just say 100 years ago, it was a lot easier to hide a person's true identity. The rumor in my family is that Aunt Selma was mentally disabled and was kept in this room. There were said to be chains on the back walls of the room, but when we explored it, we found no such thing. In reality, this Aunt Selma character may have existed, but I think the story of her being locked in the basement is a little far-fetched. It may have been fabricated over the years to keep children out of that space. For example, it wasn't until I moved back into this home as an adult that I found out just how much space the basement has and how many hidden rooms there are. That's because as a child, we weren't allowed down there. Because it's dirty, it's dangerous, and it's gross. But to keep us from going down into the basement, my parents would tell my sisters and I the story of Aunt Selma, whose vengeful spirit supposedly haunts the basement that she was kept prisoner in for the entirety of her life. It sounds quite dramatic. I have another theory that I think fits the bill a bit better, but because this video is already so long, we'll dissect that in the next one.